Hi guys, it's Dustin here, and I want to talk a little bit more about the GameStop stock situation and talk a little bit about why this turned from something that's kind of interesting to finance nerds like me to something that was national news that has a lot of people upset. Let me start off by saying I'm not a financial advisor, not a financial professional of any sort, so everything you hear here is just my personal, unprofessional opinion for your informational purposes only. So I talked last time about what it means to short a stock, right? Where you borrow a stock and you sell it, and then you can wait for the price to go down and then buy it back at that lower price, return the share, and then you pocket the difference as profit. Now, I also described a situation where by the time you want to go buy it back, there just aren't that many people selling and they've jacked up the price quite a lot. And you are forced to buy it back because you've borrowed the shares and sooner or later you have to actually return it. When that happens, that is called a short squeeze. And this is what is happening with GameStop stock. So these short squeeze situations happen from time to time. There's a famous example in 2008 that happened to Volkswagen stock. You can look that up if you're interested. But the GameStop situation is a little bit unique in two ways. The first way is that the total number of shares that were short was humongous. It was something around 140% of the shares that were available to trade. This was really only possible because one person who shorts a shares, meaning they borrow it and sell it, and now someone else holds that share, that other person who has that borrowed share can then lend it out to someone else who wants to short the stock. And so the same share was effectively shorted more than one time. The second thing that's interesting in the GameStop situation is who is squeezing who. Usually it's one big trader squeezing another big trader. In this case, it was actually a lot of little traders who caught wind of what was going on and then decided to buy up the GameStop stock and actually put the squeeze on some big hedge funds out there. And this was working. You can see this in the stock chart for GameStop stock when it skyrocketed up from 20s to 40s where it had been trading for a bit up to 60 and then 90 and up into the hundreds, peaking I think just under $500 a share. And so it looked like the retail traders, the little guys, were winning here. And that was when the big guys kind of changed the rules of the game. They put restrictions on trading for the retail investors. Brokers such as Robinhood started putting limits on what people could buy. And in fact, at one point, they shut down the ability to buy GameStop stock. Now, what made everyone so mad is that there were no limits for the large traders. They could continue to buy and sell as they pleased, but the little guys were locked out of being able to buy more GameStop stock. This let the traders do whatever they wanted, and you had more sellers than buyers. And when you have that situation, the sellers have to continually drop their price in order to find buyers who were willing to buy the stock. And the price of GameStop stock plummeted. You can see it was almost at $500 a share, and it plummeted down to around $120 a share within a matter of hours. This was an insane drop. So the big guys were able to continue trading, and they were able to bring the price down while the little guys were stuck and couldn't buy any more stock. They couldn't buy when the price was going down. So this made everybody angry. You had politicians who were so diametrically opposed as Ted Cruz and AOC who agreed that this was an egregious situation. And it really just seemed like when the little guys started winning, the big guys rewrote the rules of the game in their own favor. So what happens from here remains to be seen. People were outraged, people, like I said, on both sides of the political spectrum. And there are going to be some congressional hearings that are scheduled. But whether or not this will translate into real legislation that impacts Wall Street, I'm not holding my breath. For GameStop specifically, who knows what's going to happen with the stock? It could come crashing back down, or it could skyrocket back up as more shorts are still out there and need to cover their positions and end up getting squeezed. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. Thanks for watching. I hope that helped you understand the current situation and why people are upset about it. If you have any further questions, leave them in the comments. I'd be happy to do my best to answer them. Take care.